Hi, this is Jeremy. Welcome to Classic Guitar Rock, and it's time, finally, for the 7th and final major scale mode. But let me warn you, it's not for the faint of heart. If you play this mode, you will lose all of your friends and you'll probably have nightmares. Okay, real quick, let's just review the previous modes really quick. We started in the key of G. The first pattern was the Ionian or major scale pattern, so the Ionian mode. Okay, second pattern in the key of G, that would be an A Dorian minor. Whoops. Third pattern in the key of G major is the B Phrygian minor. Fourth pattern, also in that same box, but we start with our second note instead of the first. This would be the C Lydian major. Okay, the next pattern in the key of G would be the D Mixolydian. Okay, the last one we learned in the key of G, this would be the E Aeolian or natural minor. Okay, now the boxes just start repeating themselves. And you're going to say, well, wait, there's one more mode. You're right. But if you remember, the very first box, let's go back to the first shape. The very first shape we started with was the Ionian. And if you notice on this pattern, watch. There's an F sharp there. So the pattern actually starts on the F sharp, okay? But in the Ionian mode, this is the root where we started. So what I'm trying to say is we're going to use this same exact shape, but we're just going to start with this note right before the root note. So instead of just playing it like this, we'll start here. Okay, and so while we're playing a G major, we could also be playing an F sharp Locrian minor by starting on this note. Okay, so I'm playing it up here because again, we'd just be starting all over down here. So after the natural minor, whoops. We just go to this next pattern, which is just the first pattern, F sharp Locrian. And then we'd be right back to our G Ionian in that same box, just starting with the second note. So there you go. So they just start repeating. We've got 5 boxes to give us 7 modes. So all you have to remember that in the first box, you get the Ionian mode if you start on the second note. And you get the Locrian minor mode if you start on that first note. And notice they're exactly the same. I'm just adding this one note. It depends on what you're playing it against. So if I play this pattern against a G, it's a G major. It's a G Ionian or major. If I play it against an F sharp minor, or technically it would be like an F sharp diminished or flat 5 chord, because this theory we don't really need to get into at this point. There's no fifth in that mode. That's why it sounds so dark, and you'll see in a minute when I play it, it just has a very dark feel to it. So those are all of the boxes. Just remember, 2 of the boxes, box 1, you get 2 modes out of it, and box 3, the Phrygian box, you get the Phrygian if we start here, and the Lydian if we start on that second note. But those 5 boxes give you all 7 modes. You can move them all over the neck. So let me give you an example of the Locrian minor mode. It's probably the least commonly used of all the modes, and frankly the most useless of the modes, because it's pretty dark. Some Cookie Monster metal bands might use it, but they're about the only ones probably that you'll hear using the Locrian a whole lot. So let me play over the little vamp, and you'll hear the sound of the Locrian mode. Ready? Here we go. All right, so that's kind of a dark sound. A little hard for me personally to get inspired by that mode. But again, that's the mode, and that gets us through all 7 of the major scale modes. I'll do one more lesson where we just kind of bring them all together. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Thanks. Bye-bye.